Well, Southdown Plantation, when it was first made as a land grant, it was 1,000 acres, and the people who received the land grant came from Havana, Cuba, and they kept the land for 31 years, and they grew as a cash crop. They grew indigo. They sold the land to two brothers from Louisiana. And the two brothers, all they did was fight and argue over use. That man was Jim Bowie, and he owned this plantation for 7 years. It's not well known that he did that here. When the brothers sold the land, they sold it to Mr. William Minor, who was from Natchez, and he came down with about 115 slaves, and he had some of the slaves begin construction of a giant oven to make bricks, and to make the bricks they use a clay, which is Mother Nature's gift to the people who live here. It's about 2 feet under the topsoil, and that clay is Mother Nature's gift. It is formed. All you have to do is get a knife and cut it. You don't have to add water or anything to it. Cut the shape you want it to be, and you put it in the oven. It goes in charcoal gray and comes out bright orange, and all of these bricks were made using that method. First house they built was the one what they call a slave cabin. And that house has 3 rooms on the bottom, 3 rooms on the top. And they made the outer walls 12 inches thick. And the partitioning walls in the middle are like 18 inches thick, which makes the bricks hurricane-proof. And upstairs are 3 identical rooms to the room below it. So over the kitchen was the residence of the slave family who did the cooking. And over the middle room was the laundry, and that slave family lived in the middle room upstairs. And then the dairy family lived at the very end. And to save space downstairs, they put the stairs on the front porch. So the slaves, to go to their apartment, had to use the stairs going up outside. Mr. Minor was addicted to horse racing, and he built himself a racetrack right in back of the house here, and it stretched from here, from this plantation, all the way to Hollywood Road. Now this building here, it took 10 years to build. They started it in 1849, and they built it as 1 floor. And then later on, they added a 2nd floor, the son did. And on a ground floor down here, that the dining room in the back, that was originally a back porch. The hallway here from the dining room to here is like the old English version that they do in England, where they have a central hallway with the rooms on the side. Now, at the dining room, there's a stained glass window of sugarcane and palmetto. And then at the door right here, there's a stained glass window of a magnolia tree at the top, and on the side, sugarcane. And those stained glass windows are extremely valuable because they were put in by Tiffany of New York. And the name Southdown was chosen by the family because they raised sheep in England, and the name of the sheep was Southdowns, and so they named the plantation after the sheep that they raised in England. In today's times, we have, the plantation was going to be torn down. And they got together and formed a historical society to save it. 6 months, we have what is called the marketplace, which is an arts and crafts show, and we have about 300 booths. And it lasts only one day, and that helps finance us for 6 months. And then when we have the second one, that finances us for the next 6 months. There are so many things connected with Louisiana history here. The people who come here will see a microcosm of Terrebonne history. And you will find all of the rooms, the different rooms we have, we go into great detail about the history. And in closing, I'd like to say this. If I sound like an old history teacher, hallelujah.